What an utter disaster of the year. Not only are we clashing with the Queen on a daily basis, but our relationship is the worst in the entire kingdom. The Spy Master will never trust us at this rate. Ugh. How goes the search for a look-alike? Vet, not well. The best I've found is a peasant with the wrong-shaped nose, the wrong-colored eyes, and a wooden leg. Don't let that discourage you. Keep searching. Our doppelganger is out there, I'm sure of it. Baron's aim is to be the region with the lowest defiance. Yeah, they are not. Tell you what, I'll throw you a bone, Barons. And the Patricians. And I'll even get some money from the Grandees. There we go. Everything is balanced. There's so many misters and missuses and missuses. I wonder if those are misters and missuses. Oh, yeah, there are a lot of misters in here today. We got Mr. Moosh, Mr. Duck, Mr. Longlegs, Mrs. Duck. Alright. I want to meet my potential spouses. I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young man from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. And a partner for life to have and to hold. And yeah, I suppose so. But the alliance comes first. Think 4 a.m. is a reasonable time to go to bed? Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Good night. And enjoy sleep. Your mother leads you to the Great Hall where she's arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth. Wait, I don't get to meet them? This is no time for sentiment. Just need a match that befits your station and suits your political needs. She whisks away the cloth from the first portrait. From the coast, we have Basil, the wealthy heir to Lord Patrician Mr. Duck of some numbers estate. He wasn't originally their heir, but his elder brother had an unfortunate accident. He's increased his fortune by selling potions and tinctures to the masses. Makes them himself. Apparently he has a dark side, though, so I don't know much about it. Could be worse. Could be a lot better. From the south, Tristano, the eldest son of the fresh mince of Waterland's lineage. He's reputed to have the ego of the size of a sun. But there's nothing wrong with confidence, right? Like many in the south, he claims to put the faith in the 9th god above all worldly concerns. He's tried his hands at a number of ventures, though they all seem to end in disaster. Yeah, not bad. And finally, we have the March's offering, Bastion, scion of the prestigious Mrs. Duck's bloodline. A timid fellow, not the kind that does well in the march, bless him. Perhaps Palace will suit him better. Unlike most barons, he's got no patience for hunting, prefers to spend his time in an armchair with a good book. He tried to write a memoir once. It was unreadable rubbish. It sounds like a laugh. Right? What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance. Yeah, I've made my decision. So, Basil sounds like he murdered his older brother. I'm gonna skip that one. Tristano would be nice to me because his god wouldn't let him otherwise. Or I could bully Bastion. And you know what? I'm gonna bully Bastion. Excellent. I'll make the arrangements. Defiance is now aloof, aggrieved in the coast, and aloof in the south. And don't worry, I'll upset the Baron soon enough. Dangerous roads. Your Highness, the merchants of the March are complaining about bandits. The Marcher roads are too dangerous to travel, even with the guards. Gangs of highly organized, well-armed highwaymen will ambush merchant caravans and steal absolutely everything. Let's see. I'm actually going to vote for this one. I would like to pay a mercenary company. It would cost me a lot of money. Train will go up. Yep. Mrs. Duck wants to scalp the bandits. That's fair. You would have gone for the coast. He was the best looking one. But we all have our types. Yeah. I mean, yeah, honestly, I like Tristano a little bit, looks-wise. Wow, really, you guys really want those bandit scalps. $10 gold per bandit scalp. By order of the Queen, reads the notice posted on the village notice boards across the march. Adventurers, bounty hunters, and other scumbags sharpen their swords and venture out into the wilds. The plan is a great success, with dozens of rewards given to those intrepid murderers in return for hairy trophies. There's no way that could backfire. Another duel going wrong. I love duels. Murder! Grandee, the Fresh Mince of Waterland, has been murdered in his own home. Lord Patrician, Mr. Moosh II, I think you'll find that noble Grandee, that Fresh Mince of Waterland has met his unfortunate end in a duel. Comes with the territory, I suppose. A duel? There was a knife in his back. Indeed, my opponent was facing away was a peculiar strategy. Do something, Your Majesty. This is clearly Lord Patrician Mr. Moose' unlawful vengeance for his father. Let's see. I mean, duels be duels. So you could execute Mr. Moosh. Perfectly reasonable action. He's used to dying. Bascanada has no evidence. Let him go free. Or duels are very unsafe and must be banned. Ooh. Someone else could vote on that, but a little late. The council has decided. A shame you could not muster the same sense of justice when my father was killed. No matter, I have avenged his memory. Ugh, the coast is enraged. The south is a little happier. To be fair, I felt you should have got away with that. Mr. Moosh II is stoic as the watch lead him to the gallows. You hope this is the last dueling-related death, as you vaguely recall an ancient proverb where the whole world goes blind. Welcome, Mr. Moosh III. Adds to the scalp collection. Yeah. Mr. Moosh, I thought you should have gone free. Let's see. The monarch can mark their preferred voting option. If chosen, I gain authority. I don't want to lose authority. The royal gamble has definitely not been working out. I hope you washed your scalp before being executed. You gotta think of others sometimes, Mr. Moosh. Oh, on the verge of rebellion. Alright. But enough of the sad Moosh killings. It's time for a wedding. Your wedding to Bastion is, naturally, the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. Feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Bastion at your side. Do you take this man as your lawfully wedded husband? Yepperoonie. Then I pronounce you queen and husband. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new husband turns bright red every time a toast is called in his honor. Aww. Isn't he adorable? By the time you find yourself alone with Bastion, it's past midnight and you've never felt more tired. Hello. Howdy. Nice wedding for it. The wedding, I mean. You both lapsed into strained silence. Bastion gulps back his wine. So tell me about yourself. Not much to tell, really. I like to read. Sorry, I know that's boring. He lapses into silence again. All attempts to get him to talk more prove fruitless. Eventually, he makes his excuses and heads to the spare bedchamber. That is King Bastion, thank you. Shark attacks. I feel bad for him. He's married to a total babe like me. Upsetting news from the coast, Your Majesty. Several peasants have been killed by a shark. I have already sent your condolences. You can't close my beach, says Mr. Duck. Excuse me? That beach is vital for coastal tourism. You can't close it just because a few people got on the wrong end of a fish. Well, now I want to close it. No, we can't risk coastal tourism. Ooh, Cernpe joined. Where did Cernpe land? Cernpe is a Grandees. Exactly. For the next 7 days, so many tourists are eaten by that the common folk start referring to it as Shark Week. Finally, the council is forced to intervene. Mr. Duck, thanks for following. Let's see. Keep the beach open, hire an adventurer to hunt down the shark, shut down the beach, or turn the shark itself into a tourist attraction. And Mrs. Duck, thank you. Got the whole family. Well, I think the whole family. I don't know. There might be more of you out there. Is there an Uncle Duck? Let's see. I'm voting for the adventure just because that sounds cool. I want to see a man punch a shark. Mr. Legs is voted to keep the beach open. Serpy wants to turn the shark into a tourist attraction. It looks like that's the... Oh. It's currently tied. Someone want to get another vote in there quick? I think there's a Grandees missing. All right. Voting tied at 3. Hello, Nixwinalls. Let's see. Unknown laws. Okay, I got it. You are a Grandee. Welcome to the Grandees. And I want to see a man fight a shark. I'm sorry. Sorry to go against the majority, but sometimes a guy's got to punch a shark. Dead eyes, like doll's eyes. Pardon? Sorry, I was just thinking about my landlord. I really need to make rent this month. I can kill this shark for you, no problem. Just give me the cash up front. If the adventurer proves as good as his word, armed with nothing but a spear and a pair of tiny swimming trunks, he brings the man-eater to justice. Across the coast, people celebrate your wisdom. Tourists come from miles around to see the shark's immense carcass hanging from a hook above the dock. Stability is civil. Defiance is going down. Trade's going up. My treasury does seem to be a little low. Maybe I should pay closer attention to some of these numbers. Your Majesty, I wanted to talk to you about the bandit bounty in the march. I have some concerns. That was a lengthy pause, pretty ominous. Quite hard to verify a scalp. At the end of the day, it's just a tangled mass of hair. And the adventurers and bounty hunters, they're definitely killing some bandits, as well as some people who look like bandits, or may have been near some bandits in the past, or who were walking suspiciously. We're just paying adventurers to murder random people at this point. I've ordered it to stop. And so the bandit bounty has come to an abrupt end, leaving the peasants of the march traumatized and paranoid. But outlaws still plague our roads by the 9th. The bounty may not have worked, but we need to do something. Well, I simply cannot afford some things, so I am going to select this. If you select that, empty promises, I gain authority. But it seems like the red would gain some defiance and lose some trade. Yeah. Good, good. I want to see the dice roll. I love a good gamble. You send a battalion of the march's hardiest veterans, experienced in fighting on foreign fields. If they can't root these bandits out, who can? A month passes, you receive word that the battalion spent weeks marching in circles and chasing bandits, who would drop their weapons and blend in with the population of the local villages. Finally, The soldiers' frustration turned into anger. In an attempt to flush out the bandit leader, your soldiers burned an entire village to the ground, massacred dozens of peasants. The bandit leader, if he was there at all, escaped unharmed. If you don't know he was there. Marcher peasants now view you as a murderous tyrant. Stability down, defiance up. I mean, seems like the Marchers dropped the ball on that one. It's okay, Sermpy. Thanks for stopping by. You can watch this on YouTube to see how your faction does in a couple days. In the south, beneath the scorching sun, Grandee Bascanata strolls through his vineyard in the company of a few close friends. I bring ill tidings. The spy master's still watching us like a viper watches its eggs. Unknown Laws is following, thank you. The viper is a creature cursed by the ninth. It is fitting to compare the wretched spy master to such a beast, but I have no desire to be compared to an egg. As far as the spy master is concerned, we must be about as threatening as eggs. But one day, we shall hatch into the Queen's worst nightmare. The Grandees' aim is to raise stability to 5 or more. In a dingy seaside tavern, 2 patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. Oh, thanks, Mr. Legs. One more followed until 30. Yeah? Man, I appreciate it. I don't really keep count of that thing, but eventually things start to happen. I'll figure out what those things are when it happens. 2 patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. You guys look very similar. The coast's economy has never been better. We're making more money than I know what to do with. Money breeds money. I have made a series of investments to improve our profits even more. But what we do with all the rest of this gold? What will we do? What to do? What do we do? There we go. Nailed it. Time to start buying things, of course. Lands, roads, bridges. We'll buy up the whole kingdom, piece by piece. They do have the same outfit. And honestly, this is the 3rd Mr. Moosh. There's probably hundreds of them in there. I'm just going to say this is Mrs. Moosh over here. Time to start buying things. Yep, buy the whole kingdom. But first, the Queen must be in desperate need of our gold. How far down the line of Mooshes can we get? I would love to find out. To advance their scheme, the Patricians must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 2 seasons. Huh. Alright. Your Majesty, these upstarts started saying, blah, 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 scheme. The Patricians are on the verge of rebellion. Yeah. I mean, so the smartest thing to do is to go into deep debt, right? That's what everyone should do when they're low on money. Just borrow more. The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. What do you suggest we do? Apart from raising taxes, we have a precious few options. Get a bank loan, or sell off the crown jewels, or perhaps crack open your predecessors' tombs. Most were buried with piles of gold or so, I've heard. Yeah. hefty loan. What is the worst that could possibly happen? The Bank of Salventingal operates from the fabulous wealthy Republic of Kurth all the way across the Western Sea. They assure you, however, that they maintain total independence from the Republic. The banker they send to take your signature has delicate hands and sharp teeth. He watches as you put pen to paper, eyes glistening. Now look at that mustache. Now that's a mustache you could marry. You're making an excellent decision, Your Majesty. You shall pay us back with 25% interest in 1 year. Settling the kingdom in debt isn't great optics, but you've had no other choice. Authority is ineffective. Yeah, wow, 25%. That's rough. Maybe this plague of rats has money. Randy Cernpe strides into the council chambers, distraught, waving a dead rat by its tail. Man, speaking of good facial hair, that's a nice beard. The fields and barns of the south are overrun by vermin, and we've no more poison for these horrible things. We can't cope anymore. Cernpe's not here, so I can just use his voice however I feel. Let's see. Take the rat and go. The South can handle this alone. Stability gambles, farming gambles, treasury down. Or hire some adventurers. Not hiring adventurers. So, take the rat. Farming gamble. Rat poison. I like a good 30% dice roll. Yeah. Vote split. Any... Alright. Voting tied at 2. I mean, I like dice rolls. I want to see what happens. Grandees Cernpe's face falls. His grip tightens on the rat's tail. Humph. How do we survive? Oh, I forgot what voice I was using. How do we survive with these rodents crawling over everything? Oh, very well, Your Highness. The rat infestation rages through the south like a fire through straw. Food becomes scarce, and the people must grit their teeth and push through a lean season or two. Yeah. Farming went down. Unknown Laws is here.